This segment of Go Marvel Life is brought to you by Chesapeake Eye Center.
You woke up this morning. What's the first thing you did? It's not a trick question. Think about it.
It was not brush your teeth. It was not put on the coffee pot. But I bet I do know what you did. You opened your eyes. You know, sight is a sense that a lot of us take for granted.
Yeah, so today we're talking about eye health for the entire family, starting with the kids. Doesn't it seem like more kids need glasses these days? And their prescriptions can get stronger with each visit to the eye doctor.
So what is robbing them of their 20/20 vision? The answer may very well be right in front of them.
The world is becoming more out of focus for 5-year-old Scarlett.
My eyes were blurry.
Her eyes were blurry.
And 9-year-old Owen.
The hoop and the basketball just seem way smaller. It's way harder.
But now Owen wears prescription sports glasses to see the hoop. He's been wearing glasses since kindergarten, 3.5 years ago. His mom says she was surprised that he needed glasses at such a young age.
He never once complained or said anything about having a hard time seeing.
Now, recently, we're seeing more and more children come in with nearsightedness in 1st and 2nd and 3rd grade.
Computers, tablets, cell phones, is all this focusing on electronics at close range, taking a toll on our kids' eyes?
Some studies have shown that increased focus has contributed to nearsightedness.
And it's not just kids. The National Eye Institute found a 66% increase in nearsightedness for all ages since the early 70s, the time electronics started coming into homes.
We have an iPad and we have our smartphones, and they do implement iPads in the preschool classroom.
What letter is that?
Z.
So, what can parents do?
I tell them to try to maximize that distance between their eye and the device.
One way to do that is the 20-20-20 rule.
For every 20 minutes they spend on the device, I like them to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This decreases the visual demand they have in near.
And of course the obvious, limit the time they spend on electronics and just go outside and play.
Large-scale studies have shown that children that spend more time outdoors are significantly less likely to become nearsighted than those children that are indoors spend time focusing on those devices.
So another way to maximize the distance between your eyes and your handheld device, punch yourself in the chin.
Oh, really?
The space between the knuckles and the elbow is the perfect distance.
How about that?
Isn't that?
Well, that advice is relevant for adults too. And when it comes to our eyes, there are also many things that can harm them, like tattoos.
Your reaction's probably the same as mine. Tattoos? Really? Come on. Studies show that 1 in 5 people has a tattoo. So joining us today to tell us a little bit more about this new research is ophthalmologist Dr. Jason Yonker with the Chesapeake Eye Center. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Tattoo? Honest to goodness, a tattoo could hurt my eyes.
Tattoos. I mean, it was funny because I came across the article a couple months ago in Ophthalmology Times, one of our journals, and this was actually data presented at Hopkins. From a uveitis specialist, which uveitis is essentially inflammation in the eye, kind of like think of it as arthritis in your eye.
Okay.
And the specialist presented data of a lot of new patients that have come into the center within the last year with bilateral or both eyes being inflamed, painful, red, light sensitive, and what they found was that there was patients had a tattoo that was associated with the eye inflammation several days prior.
Now, the research focuses on the black ink in the tattoo. What is it about the black ink?
We really don't know, and that was one of his take-home points was that as far as the black ink is concerned, we're not sure where that link comes into play. But what's interesting is if we can find out what is in that ink that's triggering that immune response, then maybe this is something you can actually extrapolate into other diseases such as like sarcoidosis or rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or Lyme disease. These things have certain triggers that we don't know. And so if there's something we can actually study and find out about this, it might be really interesting down the road of having a link to some of these conditions that plague so many people on the shore.
Now, I have seen some pretty big tattoos. Does the size make any difference?
Its size what they found from the study was that most of the people that had the reaction had multiple tattoos. So size probably does have a matter as far as developing the condition, or the number of tattoos or the number of times the body is exposed to the actual ink.
How about that? Now, are there any symptoms or any signs that may indicate a problem?
Yeah, well, the first sign usually is swelling around the tattoo site. You'll get a raised edge of the tattoo, and the skin even around the edge of the tattoo will become red and sometimes even bumpy and tender. And that usually precedes the eye findings. So the take-home point is that if you do get a tattoo and you do get pain around the tattoo site, and if you develop any eye findings where you're getting this sensitivity, light sensitivity, make sure you mention it to your doctor because this isn't something that's really that well known yet. And this is something that's treatable with medications to reverse the findings. And this is something, if untreated and if left untreated, it can create a lot of scarring in the eye, which can lead to other conditions such as glaucoma in these patients. And several of the patients in the study had to have glaucoma surgery on their eyes in order to control the eye pressures from the extensive scarring that came from the inflammation.
Okay, while I got you here, I wear contacts, and understand there's a big thing coming out now about bacteria being able to reside in the contacts, and I guess that would cause a lot of eye problems too. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is one of our things we have with a lot of our patients in the office. We deal with a lot of contact lens overwearers or overusers, essentially patients that are in their contacts all day long. They take them out, maybe put them in a solution only for a few hours at night, and that's really not enough time for the solution to actively clean the contact lens. And the other thing we find is that patients like to top off the solution. So they take the contact lens out, maybe there's a little solution left in there, and they'll just fill it back up instead of actually dumping that out, filling up with fresh contact lens solution. There's a couple things that you can do to help prevent it. One is there's a solution from Ciba Vision, which is called Clear Care. It uses a peroxide-based solution that actually neutralizes a lot of these bugs and are better than the other typical types of rinse solutions. The other thing is daily contact lenses. What I recommend to a lot of my patients who have potential issues where you may go on to develop infections from contact lenses, where you wear them and you throw them. And that's what I've actually gone into myself. It's a lot safer. You don't have to worry about the solutions. So those are a couple of the issues, but the eye is covered in skin, just like our body's covered in skin. And if there's no scratches on your skin, bugs can't get in. And so you can wear the contact lens even if it did have some type of contamination from something like a Pseudomonas bug, which is one of the bugs in the study that they were looking at. But if there's not a cut or an insult, the bugs really can't get in usually. But it's when you overwear them, or you have concomitant dry eye or surface issues with your eye where you might have a lot of irritation with your eyelids, and you have a irritation of the skin, then those bugs can get in. So one of the things is taking good care of your eyes, making sure you're not overwearing the contact lenses, and seeing your eye care professional regularly, because a lot of these patients may stretch that 1 month contact lens into 2 months or 3 months, or miss that one appointment and say, well, I've got an extra month of contact lenses. I can wait a few months to get in to see the eye doctor. I'll stretch these ones out, and that's usually where the patient runs into problems.
All right. Dump it completely daily?
Daily. And get rid of the contact lens case. I usually say probably at least monthly or bi-monthly. I'm tossing, get a fresh case.
Put in fresh solution. Dr.
Right.
Jason
Dr.
Yonkers, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
To read more from Chesapeake Eye Center on how to keep your vision healthy, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. We're talking about your eyes. Jimmy, one thing we all do, and I love to do, is close them for a little bit of shut-eye.
Oh yeah, but the
truth is, many of us just don't get enough sleep. In the final part of our series, Normal or Nuts, find out how to fight insomnia so you don't feel like you're going crazy.
And a little later on, no, you're not losing it. Yes, that is Nick Jonas on Hawaii Five-0. You're going to find out why the small screen is nothing new to him and what role he's playing on tonight's season finale. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.